for Coach Johnson and Coach Spurrier, who had been dealing with Mr. Clowney for a while, how much of an achievement is it to get him to call you back, as Coach Ward did every day? I mean, what kind of achievement? Because he was one of those notorious guys that just seemed like nobody could get him on the phone.
Oh, go ahead, Alice.
I never had any problem reaching the young man. I had coaches there who could put him on the phone, and I could usually get him when I wanted him.
Okay.
I just didn't want to drive him crazy. He talked to Stefan a lot, and I probably knew what he was saying more than I knew what he was saying. I'm joking that I had the advantage of having the best Facebook and the best Twitter of all the recruiters, because I had Gilmore and Holloman. It really wasn't a fair fight.
Steve, is it more important the fact that you got not only the #1 guy in the country, but you also got to keep an in-state product for your team?
Yeah, that's good for us. That's good for University of South Carolina, and our process of trying to be a top team in the conference is taking some steps in the right direction, we believe. Winning the Eastern Division last year and getting a player like Jadeveon, who obviously could have gone to Alabama, Florida, Ohio State, sort of the glamour recruiting schools, but he chose to play for his home state university. And he was here the day we beat Alabama, and I just remember telling him we can win big here, and he believes we can win big here. And so that was something important to him, his home state university, that we can win big here. So hopefully that process is heading in the right direction as we go here.
Coach Spurrier, you've had guys who were ranked really high who come in and either worked out or didn't work out, but how do you begin the, for lack of a better term, de-recruiting process now once he's in the boat and he's done having everyone kiss his butt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we tell them that. We tell them recruiting season's over once they arrive on campus, and they're just like everyone else. And I think Jadeveon will understand that, really. And he's really a fun kid to be around. He doesn't act like a big shot when you're just hanging around. So his goals are like ours. So I think he'll be ready to get to work and contribute whatever he can, as much as he can, all the time he's here.
I'll add one thing. When he called me after he signed, he didn't say, "Were you watching?" or "Did you see it?" or "I told you." He just said, "Coach, I'm going to be ready." So that's what's in his heart and his mind right now, and I think that's where his goals are, and that's what he's thinking about right now.
That was kind of along the same lines. Just where is he physically, and how does he maybe fit into what you guys do and want to do?
Physically, I mean, he's ready. I'm sure upper body strength. There are a lot of things that high school players are certainly behind SEC players. But his speed, athleticism, size potential, I mean, he's almost NFL caliber physical abilities. And it'll be a learning curve. The SEC is a different neighborhood.
Brad, kind of following up on what Alice just said, with your defensive ends, how do you see Clowney comparing with those guys, and how do you plan to work him into the rotation early on defensive end?
We've got pretty good speed at that position right now. Of course, he adds to it, and he's an exceptional player. But from day one, I'm going to give him every opportunity to have success. Be good. It's up to him to get that done. And like I said, it's up to me to teach him. We're going to get him involved from day one.
But also, I might add that he's not always going to have his hand on the ground playing defensive end. You can always put a tight end wherever that Russian defensive end is, or a back sitting there. So Jadeveon, he'll be coming from all different angles, right, Coach Johnson? A lot like Norwood did. Yeah, a lot like Norwood. And even the 3-down lineman with linebackers standing up, coming from all kind of places, is a type of scheme that we'll probably get into a little bit here and there. So he'll have an opportunity to make plays from other positions than just defensive end.
reminder too, since the last time we visited, Amir Bird also, saying his LOI.
We talk about him now?
We can, please.
Okay.
Coach Spurrier, just one question, wondering where he ranks as far as high school kids that you recruit before, talent-wise?
Well, he's ranked number one, I guess. The only one I've ever signed that I know of has been. I don't know that they had those rankings back in the 90s, did they?
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. So we obviously signed a lot of good players in Florida in the 90s and so forth. But who knows? Time will tell. Like we say about all of them, time will tell. But I did read an article, and about a month ago that. Some guy was saying that not only is Jadeveon the clear-cut number one recruit this year, he might be the number one recruit of the last 15 years. And that was sort of scary reading that we had a chance to sign a player of that caliber. We got to make sure, we got to make sure we just coach him up and keep his head straight, which we think won't be a problem, and go from there.
Coach, there was one year they ranked him in the 90s. Cornblue did that 1 year thing. He started ranking.
National? I thought he didn't.
He was ranking players back then.
Yeah, that was just a state in South Carolina, wasn't it?
Clowney would be a 7-star by my reading.
Coach, can you confirm and sum up, I guess, the whole Shane Beamer thing that we're hearing today?
Yeah, Shane's going to go work for his dad. And I think it's a wonderful move for Shane to get to coach with his dad. Dad probably coached 3 or 4 more years, he told me, and opportunity to coach with him had never come up, and it came up. So we wish Shane well, and Shane did a super job recruiting not only his guys this year, but coordinating all the recruiting. He's been an excellent coach here, and we understand coaching with your dad is something I think you should do, to tell you the truth.
Do you know
those guys know how to win up there at Virginia Tech, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win the ACC once or twice here in the next few years.
Have you had a chance yet to even look into replacing him at any?
No, we got a little time. Got a little time to look into that.
Steve, in terms of the structure of the new hire, will you hire a recruiting coordinator, or might you reshuffle and move somebody on here to recruiting coordinator, et cetera?
Yeah, I think we're looking for the best special team guy with the best track record we can find. I think that's what I'm looking for right there.
And then you make a decision on recruiting coordinator title?
Yeah, we'll probably give that title to one of our current coaches who's been here a while and knows the state and so forth. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Robbie Lyle, our director of high school relations, and he really is our own campus recruiting coordinator. He did an excellent job, the whole recruiting process. I think 33 out of 37, something like that. Official visits, 33 of them signed with us out of 37 official visits. So Mr. Hyman and the Board of Trustees were happy that we were very efficient this year in recruiting. Only wasted a little bit of money here and there. But I remember our days at Florida, we'd bring in 50 guys and hope to sign 20. Everybody just visited. They just visited all around just for the fun of it back in those days. But young men are committing earlier, and it's really a little bit smoother way we do things nowadays, I think.
Taking a cue from the esteemed Mr. Fink, what about Jadeveon Bird? Obviously, he's great speed. Is he someone who can come right in and maybe help out in the return game next year?
Well, hopefully. Jadeveon Bird is one of the fastest players in the nation. He went to play that All-Star game down in Charleston and caught 2 long passes for touchdowns and was the most valuable player on his team. He's a national track kid. The reason we didn't get his facts, he was flying to Osaka, Japan, I think to run a 60-yard dash. That's a long way to run 60 yards. I think that's what he did. He only ran 1 race, I think, too. But anyway, I think he won it. G.A. Mangus would let us know. He came in second. Oh, he did, yeah. But he had a fast time anyway. But he's one of the fastest kids coming out, and we'll see how it works out with him.
With that, Steve, on that same line, could Bird be a guy that fits right in on kick return, punt return?
Well, it could be, and we got several other guys wanting to do that too. So we'll see. We'll give them all a chance and go from there.
Coach? Coaches?
Yeah. All right, thanks for coming.